changes every episode.
I like that. It's
was
good.
nice. That's courtesy of the one and only Prolific the Gifted. Ooh, can't keep it up. 2020, what else could go wrong?
Can't keep it up. That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm getting older now, you know.
How old are you?
Freshly 30, actually. as
Yeah,
of
you're getting
March.
heaps old.
Yeah, and wiser.
Like men, it's like a fine whiskey. With women, it's dog years. Like if you're like 20 years old, they're like, oh, better have a baby. Get on there. You're drying up.
Drying up.
That's it.
Fuck, man.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
It's
Cheers, guys.
allegedly the afternoon.
11 a.m.
Is it cool to turn my headphones up a little bit?
Yeah.
Get some snare.
How's that?
Get some snare in these headphones.
That's nice. I can hear the breathing.
Sorry, that's me.
Heavy breathing.
Do you ever, the amount of Instagram like stories and shit that I've filmed before, I don't know what to do with these. And in the background, I have to put music over it just because I hear myself like breathing extremely heavily over it.
That's a health thing.
No exercise. I know it's not ideal. I think I've got some like nose and throat.
That's kind of
issues.
creepy. Imagine if you're just like zooming in on a chick and you're just like, whoa.
This will be the podcast with the least heavy breathing. That's what I'm going for.
You're puffed out filming Instagram stories.
Look, man, you got fresh content. To be honest, this week I've kind of like steered right away from putting anything up. I don't know. It's been a very interesting kind of week on social media. But yeah, it just hasn't felt appropriate to just be breathing heavily over anything. But yeah, man. Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, man, we were saying just before we jumped on, like, fuck, it's been a few months. I haven't seen you
In ages.
in ages. Has it been? I don't even know if it was this year. It would have been obviously before I went overseas, which was like January.
Did you overseas in January?
I went at the start of Feb.
Wow.
Start of Feb, yeah.
I don't even know what date it is.
It's so bizarre, man.
Yeah.
It's been such a weird year.
I know what date is
It's
based
the 4th
on,
of June.
Well, what's getting released on Netflix? I'm like, all right, the new episode's out. I know it's Wednesday.
Rick and Morty?
No, I
Is
don't
that
watch
the
that.
demo? No.
I have a high palette
Don't be
for TV
disrespecting.
shows.
Don't
I
be
watched 90 Day
disrespecting.
Fiance.
I don't even know what that means.
Exactly. Too busy watching childish TV shows.
Have you tried Rick and Morty?
I've seen a little bit. People think I smoke a lot of weed, so they assume I do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bongs? I can see you on.
I like bongs because it makes my features look smaller when I'm holding it. But I like standing next to bongs. I don't like it full of anything because it smells and I can't smoke it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely an acquired skill, for sure. I think if there's one thing I've learned through the whole COVID thing, it's how to smoke cones again.
With your dad that's retired?
Yeah, Dad's not big on the weed smoke. We had like a real interesting conversation about it pretty recently, actually, around my birthday. Fool just flipped it on me. Just fucking came at me out of nowhere. But,
He just packs you a cone. He's like, come here, son.
yeah. It'd be so bizarre, actually. Fuck.
You should get high with your dad. That's a podcast I'd watch.
I wonder if you would, for the people.
My dad's high right now.
Fuck yeah.
I want to see what my dad's like high because he talks like he's high.
Have you ever seen your dad smoke weed? Like, Is
No.
that something? Do you know if he has?
I don't even think he knows what it is.
Yeah.
Like when Zach's in the garage, I'm like, wow, it smells like the Sauce Awards in here. And Dad's just like, what's going on? And sits down, there's like a bong steaming. I'm just like, how does he not know?
It's a
And
lamp.
Zach's eyes are red. He's like, oh, hey, Dad. I'm like, what the fuck?
He was talking up to the wall, you know.
I feel
Allegedly.
I feel like my heart would stop if I smoked weed.
Yeah.
Like constantly my day consists of me trying to stay awake and move. Like it's
Yeah.
like, all right, coffee, and then I'll get to this destination. I'm like, you made it, another coffee.
Yeah.
No dose.
How many coffees do you run a day?
I get a
What's your standard?
large
Yeah.
mocha. There's probably about 3 or 4 shots in that.
Always mocha?
I like mochas.
Damn, that's gangster.
Yeah.
I was really on mochas in Japan just because it was like such a comfort, like especially in the snow. It was so good. I really fell in love with them again. But yeah, I respect that as the regular coffee.
You get that sugar kick in there, but then it brings you back down. You
Yeah.
need that kind of wave. You don't want to go too crazy.
Yeah.
Then you get another one. And you just
Yeah.
keep chasing the coffee dragon.
The coffee dragon.
Mm.
I fluctuate. I tend to go. I've been going long blacks more lately, but I dip most of the time. I go like almond lattes, but I feel like I sell a little bit of my soul every time I have to order an almond latte. There's just something like very like soft about that order.
Almond latte. What about like
It's like it's just Do you know what I mean?
Macadamia milk.
Maybe that's just my own like toxic like masculinity, like fucking fighting with that. That's my ego. I just need to get over that and just embrace the latte life.
I reckon you should do it after this podcast. You should just order something completely bizarre, like an iced frappe.
Ooh.
Don't they have oat milk or something?
Around the corner they do, yeah. Yeah. It gets me every time.
That's hectic.
I never remember that they don't have almond. But yeah, shout out almond milk. There's a real spectrum on almond milk. I feel like it's definitely not all created equally.
I don't drink almond milk.
You don't fuck with it at all?
I full cream or skim.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how badass I am.
That's fair.
Straight from the carton.
Live your life.
That's it.
Fuck
Yeah,
yeah.
White Russians is like my favorite.
Yeah.
Do you drink White Russian?
No, what is a White Russian?
It's Kahlua, vodka, and milk.
Ooh.
It's really nice.
God damn.
Yeah. When you have like 10 of those and then you wash it down with like Jaeger Red Bull.
Yeah.
It's
Do all
disgusting.
bars just have milk like
They usually do.
hanging?
Well, there's
Russian, yeah.
kitchens.
Yeah, right.
We should order one. I'm keen.
I'm keen. We might as well. We've started with a quadruple shot.
This is a really strong
JD with the slice. I like the slice of lime just to like tropical it up that little bit.
It's Coke with lime.
Jack Daniels and lime. Nice.
And a splash of
We're
Coke.
living life out here. It's a long weekend.
Yeah, like Queen's birthday.
Yeah,
There we go.
Is it?
maybe.
Sick.
That's it.
We'll have to fact check that one. But yeah, what's I don't know what's happening with you in your 2020 at the moment. It's crazy times.
Living
man.
the retirement life.
Mhm.
I want to retire early.
Yep.
I don't have the funds to. That's my next goal.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
How early? Like.
How early? The earlier the better, I think. Stress-free life.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dogs.
One dog.
Yep.
Botox injections whenever I want. I don't wear yoga pants when I might start.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, yeah. Other than that, working on the album
Yep.
stuff.
Have you found has it been challenging to remain creative through this, or like you've actually just kind of enjoyed the more
It's-
time just chilling and not like
It's helped me.
Yeah.
Like, my brain was just like a blur before because of work and everything crazy. But I don't know. Like I went to Hazy's house and we just recorded something. It's like, man, you've written a whole song, and I was like, I did it last night. I can
Yeah.
do it again. Like so good. But it's been good working with other MCs and seeing how they write songs and how they record, like the process. So I think there was like one time where it was Marty, Bugatti, Crispy, and myself in the garage, and just seeing like Josh will play like a song and he's like, all right guys, I want you to freestyle over this or just write something line for line. So like getting into that practice where it's like, okay, we're on the spot, I need to rhyme like this with what Marty's saying, and we're going like line for line.
Yeah.
It's really helped with my writing.
Yep.
And I'm writing faster now, so it's good.
So like before that, would you ever do that, or were you more like you have your writing time and then you have
My
studio time? Like
Yeah, I write away from the studio, and it's so funny. Like I go into this dark hole when I'm writing. I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna write this like smoke liquor. I'm gonna write this like really depressing dark song, and people are gonna be like, I know what she was thinking when she wrote that, and I'll write it's like Moby,
yeah.
like get into the zone, and then Josh will be like, cool, they'll go cool over this beat. It's like this upped, amped, happy song, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
So it's like my writing styles are weird, but when I'm writing, usually it just puts me in this depressing hole because I'm trying to be away from everyone and write as much as I can, and like I'm in my own mind.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas I feel now with this COVID thing, there's so much shit happening outside where I can happily write and not get into this depressing
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
first album was a bit different.
The first album, yeah, it was way different.
That was more like structured, stuff like that.
Was it?
A little bit. Then you came over and we did some stuff, and then
Yeah. Well, that was hard because Josh was on the road.
Yeah.
So he'll be like messaging me, what do you think about this? And I'm messaging back. So everything was kind of like a long distance relationship.
it was.
Mm-hmm. Takes work.
Yeah, and it's crazy because then I'll play it to someone and he'll play it to someone, and they'll be like, I don't really like this. And then I'd be like, but I like that. I don't like this. And then we get together and then piece it together,
Yeah.
which was different. But I think this one's flowing really nice and like easy.
When did that drop now? Was that end of
2 years ago, I think.
2018? Ish?
I think it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, on Halloween.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you had the big
2018.
blowout. Did you have it hit? No.
I had it at the Red
Oh,
Rattler.
that's right. Yep.
And then Last year I did the Halloween party here.
Yes.
Yeah, the haunted house.
Do you reckon we'll be back up and running by Halloween this year?
It's funny, every Halloween
hell.
I'm like, if anyone asks me to do Halloween, just tell me no, talk me like off that ledge. And then I came here and I met up with Benny and he's like, cool, hopefully Halloween's going to be a thing again. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And after I was like, what am I doing? Why am I doing this? The stress. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
In 2018, Widowmaker came out.
Widowmaker, yeah.
Fuck,
Well, this new album's Year of the Bat,
Yep.
which very
Very
fitting.
appropriate. Yeah. And did you, when you started this project, was the plan to create an album, or was you were just kind of compiling songs and then?
Just compiling songs.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it's an EP/album. Hazy's just like, it's an album. I'm like, sick.
Yeah.
Another album. Yeah.
It's good, man. Like, a lot of artists don't put the time and energy into creating albums these days. Like, I mean, even like EPs are a lot rarer than what they used to be. There's just a lot of singles getting dropped, which isn't a bad thing either, you know.
I'm bringing it back.
Hazy's on the album duties.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Well, speaking of which, there's another one in the works as well, which we haven't really spoken too much about on this podcast, but which you feature on quite heavily as well. So we don't have a name for it yet. There's a lot of big horse action going on in there, but is it 4 tracks?
I think it's 4 tracks, and that was just, like I said before, all of us just hanging out in a room, and it will start off with like a track that Crispy's on,
Yep.
you know, and then Marty would jump on it, and then Hazy will just be like, Thrax, can you write like, 8 bars to this, blah, 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 and it's just extended and extended, but
And then Nookie walks in.
Nookie will
And then
walk
Andy
in,
walks in.
yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's cool. It's been cool to see it kind of evolve.
Yeah.
And it's been pretty daunting. Like, I remember the first time, I think I just came over to pick something up from Hazy's house, and he's like, I walked in and Crispy and Marty's there, and I just sat down. I was like, fuck. And they're like recording, and they're like so back and forth, and the way that they write on the spot, these one-liners they're coming up with, and then Hazy's like, can you jump on? I was like, when they go to the gas station to get cigarettes, I will record it. Because I couldn't record in front of them, you know, and that was a big thing for me because I've always recorded by myself.
Yeah.
So it's really made me have more confidence in recording in front of other MCs. And especially as I'm the only female on it, you know, I feel like I have to work twice as hard, which is weird. Maybe it's just in my head, but it's hard because of, you know, there's so many great female MCs emerging and stuff. I feel like I'm representing them in some way. Because I'm from a time like when Buster Cap first started with Zach. Yeah. The only other female MC that was on the scene at the time was Sky High.
Yeah.
You know, and so, and people didn't even see me as an MC then. They just thought I was like my brother's wife or girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're here to see your husband, DJ. I'm like, yes. You know.
It's a horrible thing.
Well, you know, that's what it is.
Just answer
now.
yes to everything. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I feel like it's cool to see that I'm representing females in that way.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good, but I just feel like I have to try twice as hard to kind of be on the same level.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, whether that is, you know, real or if it's just real in your head, I guess it's it's equally real. Do you know what I mean? Like whether that's the actual, but like, you know, if it's real to you, then fuck, that's.
The hip hop's weird in that way. Like I feel like when you look at other genres of music, like rock shows, they're like, it's like a rule. You need to have at least one female act on the bill. And like hip hop hasn't really gotten to that stage yet. Yeah. And it's one of those things where I'm like, it sucks it's not at that stage. But then I'm like, I want to be selected to be on a bill, not because of my gender. Yeah. Like I want to be selected because they're like, fuck, you're a good MC. Yeah. So if people haven't heard any of my stuff and they drop we need a female, I'm like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, listen to my stuff, choose me because if you like it. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
like you said too, I guess it's like anything, like, one, representation is like so massive, like, so even just the fact that there are more female MCs at the moment is going to inspire like the next gen and the next gen after that, like, and it's just going to continue to grow. But there's so many amazing female MCs
emerging, like it's crazy
all across Australia, like even just like from the States as well, when you look at the likes of like Rico Nasty and Megan Thee Stallion and just like all those like kind of like bigger names that have all kind of like popped over the last on my like, I'm sure they've been doing their thing for years and years, but on my radar in the last kind of 2 years. But yeah, it's just it all rises. Like even, you know, the Girl Gang shows that you were organising last year as well. It's amazing to see that even in that kind of like underground niche that there's enough like female MCs doing it now and doing it so well that like a show like that can be so successful.
Yeah, it was a good show. Like, it was St. Bedlam's first ever show.
Crazy.
You know, ever. She was just rapping in her bedroom.
Yeah.
And I when I got her to, like, she's so funny. She'll show up to a gig like 2 hours early. She showed up before I was there.
Yeah.
And she's just like there passively, like just smoking like a whole bunch of cigarettes, like nervously.
Yeah.
She still does it. Like, I'll show up to a gig, I'm like 2 hours. And she's like, yeah, we need for 2 hours.
Yeah.
She's so nervous and stuff, but she's so great.
Yeah.
And her writing style's insane. I recently jumped on a track for her EP Flustercluck.
Yep.
Doing a track called Fox. And we recorded it in her bedroom. And
Yeah.
it was just, she did all the recording herself, just on this little laptop.
Sick.
And
Okay,
yeah,
it sounds sick too.
yeah,
Nah,
she did a good
Yeah.
job.
Shout out Bedlam.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
big
good.
ups.
And again, that was like a writing style where we didn't even know what we were talking about. She was like, what do you want to rap about? I'm like, I don't know.
She's got a very like poetic way of like constructing her raps.
Yeah.
It like it really
Very
takes you
witty,
on like
heaps
a
witty with
yeah.
the, you know, they're all like, it's kind of funny and clever.
Yeah.
She's a theatre kid too, so she
got
shines
that.
through in that, you know, kind of shines through in the way that she raps. And
Yeah.
she's really witty and funny, and yeah, she's awesome to work with.
Yeah.
Swift Boy's another good one, like
Yeah.
a little pocket knife, I call her, because she's so silent, and then she'll spit and it'll be like, I'm gonna slice you in the neck with a knife, and you're like, fuck.
Switchblade. She just fucking.
Man, it's like Yolandi shit. Like, she's like intimidating, and
Yeah.
she's a pocket rocket. Like, she's tiny.
Yeah.
You know, I can't fight. I feel like if there was a bar fight like going on, I have an acid tongue, so I'd probably like mentally abuse someone, and then that would be stuck in their head, and they can't get it up for years. But I feel like if I've
Good.
got Swift Boy in a corner and crystal boxes, I'll be like, get him.
Oh,
then just,
yeah.
like, you know, chick fighters are dirty.
Bro,
I'm running.
Sydney's stacked with bad bitches at the moment. There's
It's
some
crazy.
fucking yeah.
Mm.
Fuck man. Do you remember your first show?
Like, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where was it? Was it
The Iguana Bar in King's Cross.
Iguana? Where the fuck is that?
Yeah. It's gone now, but it was like hidden. It was like a little,
What
like
a
you'd
name.
walk through and it was like all vines covering the front, and you'd walk in and everything was neon light and lit up. And
Yeah,
it was
cool.
Buster Cap's first show.
Yeah.
And it was pretty wild.
Do you remember when that would have been? Like,
Like I would have been like maybe like 20. Fuck, maybe 20 years
the
old.
other one would have
so like
been
2, 3
Abercrombie.
years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not bringing out my age on this thing, all right?
Where we met,
It's,
remember we met at the Abercrombie, that was probably close to a couple of your gigs too.
Meeting like Hazy is like a fucking weird story
Yeah.
because of they had a show at the Abercrombie where Purple Sneakers used to be,
Yeah.
and they had a band pull out or whatever, and I just get this message on Triple J on Earth, just like, I know it's last minute, we have a gig tonight, are you guys keen to play? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. Lucky I answered it because Zach is fucking horrible. Like, he would have seen it like 2 years later and be like, oh shit, yeah.
The
Yeah.
anniversary of the show pops up on Facebook like 2
That's
years ago
it.
today.
That's crazy. And then I think the second show we played with Deadbeat and Hazy is when Josh's computer got stolen.
Yeah, right.
So they had to do a little...
I don't know this story.
No, it didn't get stolen, it snapped in half.
Same thing. I think stolen sounds more tough.
Yeah,
so
it does.
you
Oh, yeah.
should-
It got robbed in a knife fight. No.
Yeah.
And then we did a fundraiser gig, and then, and we didn't get enough money, and then Lucia just had to buy me one.
Fuck, snapping a laptop sounds pretty devastating as well though.
Mm.
Oof.
Yeah, I've been through a few laptops there.
My fear.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
good times. We were doing a gig called Thug Life, and yeah,
Sounds
fucking
like you guys.
Thraxxy and Prolific rocked up, and then that was it. Fam for life, I guess. It was
Yeah,
fun.
it's crazy.
Any idea when that would have been? Like,
I thought you were a couple as well. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know why. Like, we look identical, but maybe people are into that. You know, it's like White Stripes when they're dating.
mm,
And then they Prolific
Were they?
had his
Yeah.
MPC, his massive old MPC, and he used to play fucking live.
Yeah, he did the Adele remix of Someone Like You, where he's got all the piano and he was doing it on the spot.
yeah,
Now
right.
he just gets high and he DJs. But there was a time.
Retirement. We've all
Pre-bomb.
We've all slipped into
Yeah.
Fucking
PB.
They gifted, shout out the gift.
My parents are just gonna watch this and be like, he smokes weed? I thought that was incense
exclusive.
burning. What?
Blowing up the spot.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah. So how did Buster Cap come about as like Was Zach already doing High Noon stuff and
No, this is pre-High
producing?
Noon.
This is pre-High Noon.
Yeah, this is the first project that Zach had.
Yeah, right.
So he got this really shitty kind of keyboard for Christmas that plugged into a computer and used to play it all the time and taught himself how to kind of record stuff down.
Yeah.
I think he was using GarageBand. And like you'd probably have to ask him, but he probably won't remember. There was a competition because I used to go to heaps of punk shows and stuff and electronic shows, and there was a competition to remix a band's like song or whatever. And I was like, let's do it. And I was playing guitar at the time because I was in a punk band. And we recorded like this track with guitars, and then we ended up just forgetting about that project all along and just doing a new track.
Yeah.
And started a MySpace band account.
Nice.
But yeah.
What did your MySpace page look like? Was it like
my personal one?
Like, did you have it, or so there was a Buster Cat one, and then you had your personal as well?
Musicians had MySpace accounts.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah. I don't even remember. I should probably hunt it down. But
did you go all in though? Did you have like song on the cover page and like?
Yeah.
You dress it up?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. I had the lyrics to Drops of Jupiter. Like,
wow.
all of them. I was a very emotional teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Ask my classmates.
Did you have an emo fringe?
Bro, you don't even know.
Wow. Okay.
I was in.
This is.
No one understood. They still don't understand, you know?
Yeah.
Very misunderstood.
Oh, did you listen to The Used and stuff?
I fucking did.
Yeah.
Bro, do you know, I had a moment recently, probably about 6 months ago. I was on a work trip and I was driving back from like northern New South Wales, and we're just going through playing like a bunch of different songs with my workmate. And we pulled up Simple Plan, and I hadn't heard this song in fucking years and knew every lyric to it.
I know.
It just like
Do
subconsciously
anything?
Perfect.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, yeah. It struck a chord with me when I was hearing it back at this stage of life. Like, holy fuck.
Wow.
What kind of teenager was I?
Emotional.
I didn't even understand myself. Like I said, misunderstood.
Yeah.
I heard you were a ladies' man.
I peaked at 16 for sure.
Wow.
Strong peak, but then yeah, it's been a slow progression.
I feel like I was a
ever since then.
shitty looking teenager. Like I looked fucked. Like I looked like Manny from Modern Family or like Harry Potter banker. And then I just grew into this like superhero, and now I'm slowly going downhill, but I think my market would be people that like MILFs. Yeah.
Hey, you gotta pick a niche.
That's it.
Oh,
OnlyFans is popping off.
I'm not getting OnlyFans. No, it's not for me.
What about like something less PG, more like eating food or something, or
well,
smoking ciggies? There's lots of weird people out there that just like.
Always about the Siggy's Hazy.
If people are into sick shit, you can give me money on Bandcamp.
Yeah.
Buy my music.
Yeah. Buy
Just
it.
stick with rapping.
Buy it.
Yep.
But yeah, Buster Cat, like, what the fuck were we even talking about? I'm just thinking about you listening to Simple Plan now and buying.
With my fringe just rocking out.
Drinking almond milk.
One black fingernail, just fucking.
One black fingernail.
Nah.
Wow. Checkered Vans.
Let's scrap that from the record. I like to plead the fifth on that one.
But yeah, Buster Cat was good fun. I think like, it's hard to find a producer, and when you find one, it's almost like finding that meaningful relationship where you can really like grow with someone, and like having your brother as a producer, you can like tell them that something's shit, and they won't get upset about it. And like, so we worked really well together. He was listening to a lot of like LA hip hop at the time. If you listen to his stuff, it was really heavily influenced by like Dr. Dre and stuff. And then I was listening to a lot
Keeping
of like
it West Coast.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of electronic music at that time, and like kind of punk and metal. So we had a lot of guitars and stuff in the Buster Cat stuff that we recorded there.
Yeah.
And then just went from there. Like if you listen to our first EP, it's really electronic based. Like it's crazy. And this is pre Run the Jewels.
Yeah.
And so I think we were too early for our time.
Early,
yeah. Whereas if I've listened to it before and I'm like, if we did this again, Zach, we could probably make money. And he's just like, yeah. And that's it. That's as far as it goes. I've been trying to get him onto an album. Like Zach's a really good rapper. I've been trying to get him to spit on the
Zach's
album.
got bars.
Like,
I feel like most people don't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's really good. He's got a little cheeky lisp as well. So it's funny. You can hear this like kind of hi-hat sound. That's his teeth.
Yeah.
In the
It's one take Jake as well.
The gift.
yeah, like
One
he
in
can do
one
it
go.
one go.
Yeah.
And it's like upsetting.
He's asleep on the couch and you do, yeah, let's fucking do something. And then like, you're like, what the fuck?
It's crazy.
I'm going home now.
I feel like we're gonna get P on next to rebut
Actually,
all
he,
these.
he doesn't sound like that at all. He sounds heaps gangster. Sorry, P, love you. Don't bash me.
But yeah, so yeah, it was a good time. I want to bring back a Buster Cap track.
Was pre Buster Cap? Were you a creative kid? Like, were you drawing? Were you writing poetry? Were you like, was English a thing that you enjoyed in school? Like, was it?
Yeah. Like I loved. I did a lot of art, and
Yeah.
I played guitar. Like I played guitar since the 6th grade.
Yeah.
And was in a few bands and stuff. So music was always like my passion.
Yeah.
And not just one genre. It's like multiple.
Were you into hip hop at that point?
It like my dad started us on hip hop pretty young. Like he was showing us LL Cool J and
Man,
Run DMC.
I can
and
see your
stuff.
dad getting down with some LL.
Yeah, like Jack the Ripper, LL Cool J. We used to play that on loop. Like
Yeah.
it was crazy, and I think that's what really got Zach prolific into hip hop as well.
Yeah.
We just went in other directions, but ended up meeting again in the center. But that's why I look like Satan. So a lot of people are just like, wow, like there's someone that looks like the Grim Reaper here, and then I start rapping. It's because I'm into weird shit.
Yeah.
I'm into weird music. But
The
yeah.
weird shit's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, thank fuck you found that. It's way better than being basic as fuck.
That's true. We should do a Simple Plan remix, I think, just for you.
I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I want
was
to see these
born ready.
photos with the fringe.
We'll pull them up. I'm sure they're gonna surf us after this. Fuck.
On a shirt.
Yeah.
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 Limited edition.
Yeah, no, the fringe game was strong. I used to straighten my hair. I was doing all kinds of shit, dude.
Did you
Just
hang out at
finding myself.
Utopia Records?
I didn't really know. I did. I called past once or twice, but yeah. It was interesting times.
Good times.
Mm.
I looked like a weird gothic gremlin.
When did you find that? When do you feel like, did you connect with music at like a certain age and then like find your lane within that and like find your look and...
I don't know. It just kind of sprung. Like, I have no idea how it started. I watch a lot of 80s movies and stuff. So I think watching a lot of like the fashion back then, like Pretty in Pink and like Madonna movies and stuff. And like my mum used to give me her old clothes from the 80s, which was kind of weird. And I just started like mix matching and yeah. But look, if white was slimming, I'd be marinated in it, mate. It's only
Dripping like
because black
Cisco.
is slimming. Black is slimming. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, it is. That's why I've been running a bit more black lately. Because slim down. That's my my decadence in Japan.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've never been to Japan.
I recommend it, dude. It's such a fucking cool country. Highly recommend. Have you done much travel? Have you...
The States.
Zach was saying you guys were actually supposed to go to Hawaii
Yes. Yeah.
recently, but that obviously...
Hawaii, like, you know what? I know it sounds horrible. Not really too fussed that we missed out on Hawaii because I don't do the beach.
Yep.
Like, I dress like this at the beach. It's not really, and I emerge at dusk and I'm like, let's do this. And I'm just drinking, like, pina coladas. That's it.
Yeah.
I like going to cities that are like,
Yeah.
hustle and bustle. New York City is fucking cool.
Yeah.
People in Japan would freak out if they seen you in a good way.
I'd look like Godzilla.
Like
They would love you.
they'd take photos and they'd be like, oh, you just walk. We just get like a couple of security guys that look like you're famous, and we just like, oh, make sure you buy the album. Buy the album.
I'm like 6 foot.
Press run.
I'm like 6 foot, and then when I wear boots and my hair's big like this, I'm like 6'5". Not that tall. I'm a little bit exaggerating. I'm tall, so I reckon
In Japan you would be, for sure.
I'd look like Godzilla. But you know what'd be cool? I want to go to a show in Japan and be able to see over everyone. That's like my dream.
Yeah.
Every time I go to a show, like the tallest guy stands in front of me. I'm like, how?
Why?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can pretty safely hang at the back. You can like wallflower that. I need to get in there.
Yeah. Right at the front.
Yeah. In the hustle and bustle, get on someone's shoulders.
Really?
I could get on your shoulders, I reckon.
Yeah. I don't know if I could hold you.
I'd probably ruin your hair though, and that'd be a deal breaker.
I actually look like I'm like strong, and people are like, whoa, you could fight. I'm really weak. Like I went to the gym and then like I got my dad to train me and he's like, here, and it's like 2 kilo dumbbells. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, just do 10 of these. And I was like, man, like, is there a 1 kilo dumbbell? I can't do this. I'm just top heavy, but I can't lift shit.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Just bars.
That's it.
Just doing reps on them bars.
Yeah.
When did your dad get the gym? Is that like your earliest memory of like did he have it as you were growing up? Like, were you growing up in and around the gym in Menai? Like, was it?
Well, they had a fitness store that I grew up in. So my mum ran a fitness store in Hurstville.
Yeah.
And that was around for ages, and I was raised there. So they had the fitness store, and then...
Was that under, like, the same brand? Like, is it under Musclemania? Shout-outs.
So they had the fitness store, and then basically... this is funny. My parents took me to Wonderland when I was younger.
Yeah.
And like some wrestlers from the WWF at that time, WWE now, were doing like a show at Wonderland.
Yeah.
And my mom was like, "This is really cool. You should get into it." And my dad's like, "Nah, not into it." My mum ended up talking to the wrestlers, getting the details, like writing it down. Where'd you learn how to wrestle?
Yeah.
Forced my dad against his will to go to like Orlando, Florida, and he learned how to wrestle at the Malenko wrestling school.
Right.
And he wrestled with Kane. Like, he learned how to wrestle with Kane and a few other people like Marty Molly and all these like legends, and lived there for a while. And then when he came back from doing the wrestling, my mum started the Wrestling Federation.
Yeah,
and that's when they started doing shows every Friday. We'd finish school and it's like, cool, we got to go to the wrestling show now.
Yeah.
We'd go like all these RSLs. It was wild. And then I had the wrestling ring set up in the backyard, watching wrestlers train. Like, it's crazy. And then Gladiators were doing a call out, and then Dad tried out for that and then got into that. So then he ended up doing that while my mum was running the shop. And then when Gladiators kind of ended, Dad started the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for those playing at home, just to give some context, your dad is the one and only...
Tower. No, he's Vulcan. He's the black gladiator. Yeah.
Black.
Yeah.
The gladiator.
We'll edit in like a photo of him at this
Just
point.
a headshot like this. Zach looks identical to him. Like, it's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Weird.
He's the son of Vulcan. I keep pushing him to like name an EP that.
Son of Vulcan?
Yeah.
I reckon we should do a photo shoot of Zach wearing the outfit.
Fuck yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I told Ben here at Gladdy, I'm like, let's do a gladiator's night. Just make the staircase go backwards, put the G on the front.
Gladiators.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius.
I reckon it'd be good.
Oh, that's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gladiators.
I want to see Nookie, like, on the giant earbuds.
Nookie will be there.
Beating up Marty.
Yeah. I want a
Sydney's-
foam finger. It's like a number one.
Yeah. That'd be cool.
That's all I'll
I can be
contribute.
the drunk.
You can be
gremlin.
drunk?
I'll be drunk.
So good.
I'll be at the toilets trying to not let people in.
Back off. Yeah, fucking crazy. So prior to your mum convincing your dad to go over the States, he wasn't doing wrestling, he wasn't interested in, like, it wasn't really...
Not really,
He was
like...
just into, like, his health and fitness.
Just training, yeah.
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 Yeah, right. What a crazy fucking trajectory and, like, where that's led to.
Yeah. And it's just... You know, when they say, like, when you're into something, your kids are going to be, like, anti that. So I'll probably have a kid that, like, hates tattoos. They're probably going to be an accountant. I'm unhealthy. Very. So, yeah, I don't have a six. Zach dropped, like, 30 kilos.
Yeah, man.
He looks amazing. He's like, a
killing
model now.
Yeah.
Jesus. And I'm, like, drinking triple vodka juice.
Should have got on the bongs, bro.
11 a.m. I know.
Took the wrong path.
I
It's
can't.
never too late, man. You're right.
Yeah, there's always time.
I can't smoke weed. I
It's definitely not for everyone. It's
It's
not for me all the time.
horrid.
It's for
Just
sure.
skip the weed and get on the heroin or something. That would be
Oh,
quicker.
Jesus.
all right, mate. It's
Sorry.
it's 12.
Oh, I'm just
PM.
here for advice.
Let the sun go down. Jesus. Was it cool growing up, like, in a family-run business? It's very different to how I grew up. Like, both my parents had, like, I wouldn't say classic 9-to-5 jobs, but, like, dad was, like, a tradie, mum's, like, a office worker. Like, was that... I imagine that'd be quite fun as a kid to be, like, go into work with your parents and, like, they're just, like, it's their store. It's almost like it'd be like a home away from home. Is that something that you kind of remember much of? I guess when you grow up in it, you probably
Yeah.
don't really think about it as much.
It's, yeah, like, look, it's different. Like, my parents are constantly working. There's never really
Yeah.
downtime. And my mum's one of those people that she's always got something going on. So, like, prior to the shop, she was running, like, bodybuilding federation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So she had bodybuilding federation, running the store. She started her own wrestling federation. So she's constantly busy, and then dad's always doing stuff. So I don't know. I think I don't even remember, like, my youth. I was in the back watching movies. That was it.
Yeah.
Like, you know. So it's pretty crazy to sit that they're their own bosses and stuff like that. But there was never really downtime. It's
Yeah.
not like, cool, now I can rest. It's 9 to 5. It was like, now I need to take my work home and do that. So I guess I kind of got that from them. So it's like, if I finish work, the tattoo studio, I'm home doing work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a completely different. It's almost like sometimes you can think like the grass is always greener too, you know, because like I guess me leaving high school, I went into a trade and then like going more into like the freelance and like focusing more on illeqwip and that kind of stuff. It's like you're saying, you kind of have to be on 24/7, and if you're not, you feel bad about being on. So you kind of you're trading in that like 40-hour work week to work almost all day every day in some capacity on it, but then also when you're on the other side of the fence, you kind of fantasize about having your own thing. And so yeah, it's an interesting balance of like trying to find the right level of it. But I don't know, was when you were younger, did you really find like, were you connected to music at that time? Like, do you remember when you first kind of fell in love with music and actually started to find an identity through it? And
we were always surrounded by it.
Yeah.
You know.
And that was obviously through your dad with the hip hop stuff, but
my
like
dad and my mum, like my mum's the vinyl collection, because you've been to our house when Zach's chopping up, you know, samples and he's got the vinyls. That's on mum's vinyl.
Yeah, right.
Collection. Like she's got a crazy collection of music, and she's pretty like, she knows a lot of hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, so we're always surrounded by it. And then because I had a lot of older family friends, when they were like giving away all their stuff, like I'd get the hand-me-downs of all the CDs. So I was listening to, you know, grunge and like all this punk, you know, metal, listening to all this stuff that normal kids would be listening to, like Backstreet Boys and stuff. We were getting music from all different directions and listening to all crazy stuff. So I was that kid that would, you know, go to school and I'm like, have you heard this obscure piece of shit? And everyone's like, no, we're listening to Mambo No. 5. You know, like that kind of weirdness.
Tune.
But yeah, you know, I think it's good to expose different genres of music to people. I think to think you should only listen to one genre, it limits you. You can't grow, you know. And even when you listen to like Zach's beats, there's obscure, crazy samples that are in there that are like, you know, he was like, oh, I was watching this Disney movie and I decided to remix it, like, crazy stuff like that. Or he'll start like skewing Fleetwood Mac and playing like a beat backwards and then chopping it up and remixing it. I'm like, is this, you know, track 2 of like the first Fleetwood Mac album? And he's like, yeah, backwards. I know it's crazy. Yeah. But I think it's a good thing to do is just listen to different genres. Yeah. You know, people limit themselves too much, I think. For sure. I think it's a thing that a lot of, like, I see a lot of hip-hop artists kind of talk about that. Like, a lot of artists don't even actually listen to that much hip-hop that are hip-hop artists. Like, they tend to, like, find their inspiration elsewhere. Yeah. I guess when you're doing it so much, you kind of, like, I don't know, it's easy to just get over it. Like, sometimes you just, like, the last thing you want to do is consume what you're trying to produce as well. Yeah. Do you, are you consuming much, like, locals? Like, what are you listening to at the moment? What do you generally listen to? I listen to, like, at the moment, I've been listening to heaps of, like, old shit, like Dion and the Belmonts. Like, I don't know what that is. Exactly. Yeah. Like, and, like, Quentin Tarantino soundtracks have been on loop lately, because I've just been listening to that. What is it? Dion and the Belmonts. Dion and the Belmonts. What kind of music is this? I'm talking about, like, you know, like, rockabilly stuff. Yeah, like from back in the day, you know, Jerry Lee Lewis, stuff like that. But hip hop front, I listen to a lot of queer hip hop. Getting into, like, it's wild, that genre. It's crazy. So like Mickey Blanco, Leaf is another one that I listen to, and then like The Horror is a good one. It's like punk hip hop I've been listening to. So Megan Thee Stallion's been on, you know, the loop. Yeah. So yeah, it's good. Like I listen to weird shit. Like I'm horrified if anyone ever looked at my Spotify recently played, because it's disgusting. Like it's filthy. It like Backstreet Boys, I Want It That Way will probably come up. You know what I mean? It's just random. Mad at Backstreet Boys. I ain't mad at Backstreet Boys. Everyone knows those lyrics. It's one of those things that when you play it, everyone knows the lyrics. Yeah. You know, there's probably, who knows, there's probably some Simple Plan or Fall Out Boy in there. I have no idea, you know, and then I'll just go to some satanic ritual music that's just weird. Yeah. Like, if you put the shuffle on. If you put on shuffle, it would destroy you. Like, you'd be sickened. Sounds like a challenge. The Thraxxy challenge. Yeah. Fuck, man. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's, were you, like, so you said, too, like, that you watch and consume a lot of, like, 80s movies and those kinds of things. Was that something that you found when you were younger, or is that more like recently? Like, are you kind of... I grew up on it, you know, like cheesy horror movies and stuff. I don't know, like, horror movies, like 80s, like the Goonies,
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, that kind of stuff. Like I was like heavily into it when
So
I
you
was
love
younger.
horror movies?
I love like anything cheesy and shit.
Yeah.
Like I binge watched every season of Degrassi.
I don't know what that is.
Exactly. Like it's cheesy, like after school special TV show about kids like in the 80s doing
Yeah.
drugs,
Like-
like being
like-
reckless.
Like Saved by the Bell, but not.
No, it's like
Not Saved by the
but
Bell.
bad. It's like
Yeah.
original skins.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, like and like into comic books and stuff. Like I was a nerd, but like I loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What comic books?
Comic book. At the moment, I'm reading Lady Death.
Lady Death. Okay.
Yeah. Are you into comic books?
No, not really. Like when I was younger, when I was a kid, like fascinated with them, but it wasn't something that it was like I feel overly available in Australia. Like, at least on my radar. Like obviously you had the stuff that you could find at newsagents and things, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's just one of those things. I like art and illustration and design, and so anything that's like anything with that aesthetic, like I really dig. But yeah, I wouldn't say into it. I have zero knowledge on like what's out there at the moment.
My whole thing is just to like sit there late at night around 3 a.m. and just go into a wormhole of just looking for obscure art and posting it on my
Yeah.
Instagram. That's my life now. That's all I do. If I could get paid doing it, it'd be amazing.
Man, I'm sure there's a way.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Yeah.
Where are you looking? Like
Like blogs, Pinterest.
Pinterest?
Yeah.
Nice.
Pinterest is actually good.
I fuck with Pinterest.
Don't let white basic girls ruin that for you, okay? It's not just about designing a kitchen. It's wild.
Also great for designing a kitchen though. If you're renovating, it's not bad.
I don't think I could renovate. Like, putting my makeup on's enough. I'm done for the day. That's it. Renovating. No.
You definitely need to take up stand-up comedian. Stand-up comedian?
I've done it
Is that
before. It's actually
Stand-up?
it's actually really nerve-wracking and
You
terrible.
fucking kill that shit.
I've done
though.
it.
You because like you're funny without trying to be funny, and that's what I like about stand-up.
I'm very bitter and depressing, so maybe that's what I have in common with comedians. They're all depressing, and they drink a lot. If you want good drugs and alcohol, comedy show. I'm telling you, it's crazy. I've done stand-up comedy, and I was just not. It was scary. Like I can
even
rap
just
to
stories
I
about
imagine
your
it would
dad.
be.
Yeah.
You know, like you could do.
That's what I did though. It was like literally reading out because my dad says some stupid stuff. Like he's crazy, and like I used to write it on Facebook.
Yeah.
And because I hang out with a few comedians, they're really funny. They're like, do you wanna open for us tonight and just read out your statuses on Facebook about what your dad says? Like, and I did it, and it's crazy because I can like. I do a lot of hosting gigs where I'm like hosting nights and stuff at Frankie's, and then I can like, rap in front of people.
Yeah.
And the nervousness isn't there. It's just
Completely.
natural. But
Yeah.
when you're trying to make people laugh, it's horrifying.
Yeah.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Where was it?
It was at Club 77. They had a comedy night there.
Nice.
Which was wild, but yeah, it was like I was like, I can't do this. That was the one time I was like, I actually can't do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but it was fun.
How long was the set?
You know what? It felt like I was up there for 4 hours.
Yeah.
It was so awkward. I have no idea.
Yeah.
I've blanked it out.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Was it just the one time? Have you
Once,
Yeah.
yeah. And it was terrifying.
imagine that would almost make it worse, like just doing it the one time. We had this guy Oliver Twist. I don't know if you've met. He's been to a few 2-ups and stuff before. One of my friends is he's a comedian. He's been in Australia for what was he saying? I think he was saying about 7 years now.
14.
2014. No, he
2001, I think he came.
he was in Malawi for 14 years. You were saying.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then, he moved here somewhere in the 5 to 7 year range. But yeah, it was probably about a year after being here, he started stand-up comedy and pursued that. And it's just been going down that path for a long time. So it's just, I can only imagine like what that would be like trying to get up in front of people and like,
Have you been to
so many.
an underground comedy show? It is so cringy
Yeah.
and intense. I went to a comedy show where it was like your whole thing was to like the audience had to interact with the comedian. So when they failed, like people were like yelling out stuff, just like you're a piece of shit.
Just like
And-
live Instagram
Yeah,
comments.
and I was like, wow, this is like if my inside voice was yelling at me right now. Like it was like insane. I was like, this is crazy, but like I love it, but it's horrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but It's crazy. I've always wanted to get Dad on a podcast because he's just insane.
Yeah.
Like,
Should get you guys in here. You guys should run one.
what I want to do is because he's obsessed with wish.com. Like, that's his
Bro,
thing.
I see ads for Wish. I'm like,
Is
who
it
the
any good?
fuck is using this?
Is it good?
My dad uses
Yeah.
it, and like whenever it's Christmas, he has his saved list that he sends Mom, and he goes, "This is what
His
I want
wish
for
list.
Christmas." It is. He's the genie. He's a genie. I like went on and had a look, and it was like weird shit. It's like I can open up any jar with this tool, you know, just like crazy stuff, like
Yeah.
flashing shirts.
Yeah.
Lots of
Crazy.
dildos and things like that.
There's weird
All the
shit.
time, eh?
Yeah.
There's like random.
And like saddy bags and like
Yeah.
fucking
It's
like pipes
crazy.
and bongs and shit like that. It's crazy.
I want to start like maybe even just a channel where like monthly I give my dad $100 to buy stuff off Wish,
Yeah.
and then I review it with him.
Yeah. I think
And-
that sounds genius.
I will do that with you.
It's- He's bizarre.
Yeah.
You know, if I like, he sent me a photo.
What's he buying? What's he getting on Wish? What do
Just-
you get on Wish?
He sent me a picture the other day where he's wearing one of those bandanas with the skull bottom, and he's like just wearing it around. He has a jar opener. He wanted a strip that you can hang from the roof that catches bugs. Like, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has fucking
like
everything you want.
practical
You type
uses.
in like anything, and it's got it.
It's
Yeah.
got it. So like, I'd love to just do that with him because he's crazy.
I'm just
Yeah.
too scared to buy anything off it because then you never know.
It's not overly expensive. I think you won't like miss it if it's too, you know, $4 for this thing that hides my pingers.
We should just get like your dad and whatever you can, and just get him to tell
Family
embarrassing
Feud.
stories, and then we'll like phone you in, Thraxxy.
That'd be good.
So family. It'd be good to get some of the wrestlers in too.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do any more of them?
The wrestling shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully. Like, as soon as this plague blows over.
Yeah.
The plague.
Yeah, you know, for sure. It's good. It's weird, like, performing at a wrestling show.
Yeah.
I can't, like, all the rappers get in the ring. I can't get in the ring because I'm wearing a short dress, but I rap around it. It's great.
That was the funnest gig.
It's cool seeing Nookie wrestling. Like, I reckon him and the 111 boys would be such good wrestlers, you know? Like, especially Marty, hip-hop sweetheart.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. That guy's so nice. He's, like, too
A
nice.
few like t-shirt tears.
I'd be into
We
it.
should do a line of those.
Yeah.
Like super terrible t-shirts.
I will judge it.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's fair.
I'll have to get up nice and close, though. And just be like, okay, tear.
It's a male wet t-shirt comp. Yeah, Nookie fucking killed that actually. That was the role he was born to play though.
I don't know why he's not a wrestler.
I mean, there's still time.
Mm.
There's still time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you so when did any of like the wrestlers that your dad worked with in the States, they ever come out and visit? Like, do you have any like
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
interesting stories from that?
He actually wrestled. He did a few wrestling shows with a few famous wrestlers, and I think I remember he used to go play golf with Goldberg,
Yeah.
and like hang out with Kane and Sid Vicious and stuff like that. He actually did a show. I found this weird. I went to the show, but I was so young I can't remember it. But Dennis Rodman was wrestling.
What?
Yeah, and like my dad got to work with the Road Warriors during that tour, which is really cool. But yeah, he was saying that the main headline was Dennis Rodman.
What an interesting character.
Right? So weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. Was that was he touring around with like in the States? Like how long was that kind of period for?
He wrestled in the States and he wrestled in Japan. So
Alright.
he was doing it for a bit. I think there was a small period of time where he was trying to get into a federation, and we would have had to up and move.
Yeah.
But then Gladiators took over, so
Yeah.
ended up doing that.
Was that weird for you growing up? Like, how old were you when Gladiators was taking place? Because I feel like that would have been like,
Like
Like
1992,
kid. Yeah,
1993.
yeah,
I just exposed how old I am. I wasn't born then.
Allegedly.
I was like super young, like
Yeah.
really young. And it was weird at first, but I think I was so young that it was just kind of, this is my life now.
Did kids at school know that
Yeah,
like your
everyone
dad?
knew.
Yeah,
You know, I feel bad getting drunk in the Shire because people are like, I know who your dad is. It's refreshing coming here and you're working with someone like Marty who has no idea.
yeah,
And I'm like, this is amazing because he wasn't even born then. So it's crazy. But yeah, it was weird. It was kind of weird growing up, but at the same time, like, we just adjusted
normal
to
to
it.
like in your life
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah, no one fucked with us.
Yeah.
It was good.
I imagine your dad would have played into it a lot as well, like with the other kids. Like, was he like, did he have that character when, like, if he came and picked you up from school and things like that? Were kids...
But that's just his character. You've met him.
Yeah.
He's like horrifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But he's...
I was so stoked the first time he fist bumped me through. Like, I was in the garage with Zach, and, you know, he's got, like, the curtain thing between the inside and outside. And
this black fist just comes out of nowhere.
Your dad was going out to get something to eat, and Zach was like, "Oh, Zach, Dad, this is Lee," and he just like, "Hey, what's up?" And just his fist came through the curtain, and I was just like, "Boop," and then I was just like, "Fuck, I just fist bumped Balkan."
Nice.
Tick.
Nice. You need to get him on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to get you two in here and just let it run.
It'd be pretty funny.
Yeah, we'll just walk out.
Yeah.
Well, we're like, people always say that Dad and I are like the same. Like, he's really funny. He's not depressing, but he's a bit silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting getting him on here. Maybe we should get Zach on here too and just like let him get constantly high throughout and see how high Zach can get while talking to Dad.
Slow. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
And all the dogs.
Yeah, no.
All the dogs. We need the dogs.
No.
The dog gang. Talk to me about the dogs. Have you always had 6 million dogs?
It started off with one.
Yep.
And then every time, I don't know, my mom ended up getting 8.
Dogs.
Yeah, like 8 dogs running around the house. Sometimes she wouldn't even tell us. Like, you come downstairs and I'm like, where'd this come from? And she's like, don't tell your dad. But the thing is, Dad wouldn't know until like 3 months later. You know, so it just kept...
Oh, really?
Seriously, he wouldn't even... He'd just call it the same dog. It's like, oh, you look different. And I'm like, it's a completely different breed.
Yeah.
Completely different breed.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
And break down... So was it 8 at the peak, or do you have 8 now?
I don't know how many are there now. They've got 3 sausage dogs and 2 of the dreadlock dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like at one point there was like 4 or 5
There was like 8 at one point.
sausage dogs.
Yeah.
When I first went there, it was just like this squad of
It was a sausage
dogs.
fest.
It really was.
Yeah.
And every time you had to go to the bathroom inside, you just got fucking raided.
And then you just see like my dad, like this giant dude walking around with his favourite sausage dog, cradling it, and he's just yelling, and that dog's like screaming. I'm like, this is disgusting.
It was the first time I learned how aggressive sausage dogs can be.
They're disgusting.
They're like real. Some of them are real
Imagine
sweet
being
and
that
just
long.
like happy, like
No.
you can sense from a distance. And others are just angry little fucking
dogs.
crankski motherfuckers.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know you were destined to get a dog?
Of course.
Yeah.
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 You can judge someone's character on how they treat a dog.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
If someone's like, I'm not really... It's like when people are like, I'm not really into music.
Yeah.
How?
I don't like ice cream.
You know, it's not really for me. I'm like, get out of my life. I don't need this kind of negativity in it. Yeah.
Did you always want... is Ramona an English bulldog?
She's an Aussie bulldog.
Aussie bulldog.
Yeah. She's a little toughie, a little goblin.
Yeah.
She's great.
We'll throw in a photo of her.
She is, yeah.
Maybe in a little video
I
at
still
this
reckon
point.
you need to get the dog clothing going for illeqwip.
I'm down. Let's talk. Let's workshop some ideas.
Yeah.
Collars? What do you mean? Or clothing? What
Anything.
would you?
A bandana for the dog.
Bandanas were. Yeah, for sure.
That'd be cool.
Doggy drip.
Yeah.
Ziggy's running the puff.
Maybe we could get Mike Pompeo on some styling as well for that.
He's such a great artist. I love him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so great. He was meant to play a show that I put on recently at the Townie, but he was sick. He was like, I'm scared I have coronavirus. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you had that moment? I feel like everyone's had that moment.
I have the symptoms every day, like constantly, of coronavirus or pregnancy.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know.
Pregnant with corona.
Well, that's it. Like I'm constantly tired. I'm constantly in pain. My boobs are swollen all the time. And I Google it and it's like pregnant. I'm like, wow. Must have been from when I sat on the toilet seat at the Gladi. Like, what?
I always hover.
I'm going to be one of those
I always
people.
hover.
You're not going to be able to tell I'm pregnant because I'm so tall. Like I have long limbs. And I probably won't even know I'm pregnant. Like, I'll probably be here partying. I'm like, I got to go to the toilet. Holy shit. Like, seriously. There's a TV show called I Didn't Know I Was Pregnant on TLC.
Yeah.
Terrifying.
How do you find these shows? You're like a reality TV.
I have no life.
Fucking.
That's it.
Yeah, you've got that on lock.
I've been rewatching Flavor of Love.
What is Flavor of Love?
It's Flavor Flav's dating show. It's great.
I love America, man.
Yeah. I was saying to Hazy, I was saying to Lee before that we should do something at the Gladi where it's like a dating show with all like Nookie, and chicks can have a chance to go on a date with Lee, Nookie, 111, and there's like a little fold, like a little wall in between them, and you ask them questions. And that's who you go on a date
Sydney hip hop bachelor.
Maybe not Nookie. He's got 3 beautiful children.
All the hot ones do.
All the bachelors.
But maybe Lee.
Yeah.
Look, if we're gonna turn this into a dating show for me, that's fine. But
They should get a kissing booth here.
I think there's some legs in that. I'm down. We'll see where it goes. Like it's almost like live stream Tinder.
Say something really bad, but I won't.
Live stream
Swipe right.
Tinder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna re-up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
What?
We've come this far. Refills.
Oh, can I? Yes. Are we still filming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it just doesn't stop.
Nah, it don't stop. The show don't stop.
Wow.
Now we can talk about Hazy while he's gone.
Yeah, talk about that.
So much to talk about.
So, double Russian vodka.
Triple. He's locked himself out.
It's alright.
For sure.
It's alright.
So yeah, it's a pretty high tech production here, as you can tell with the two GoPros, and shout out again to Undefined Media for bringing in the only real camera that we got. But
Does this go in one stream or do you edit it down?
we zero edits.
Wow.
Yeah,
I
crazy
need to
like
make
that.
sure you guys get my good
It's a
side.
crazy essay.
Yeah.
It's pretty yeah, it's ahead of its time.
I'm all for it. I'm used to podcasts that you just listen to, so now that I have to actually put on makeup, like I woke up this morning, I'm like, sick, I can just rock up with no makeup on, it's good, and I was like, they film it.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the videos has been kind of like the main way we've put it out. Like we've started putting it on SoundCloud recently, and we will release it through Spotify and kind of through all the channels. But we're holding off on that for a little bit until we kind of like get the formula exactly right. We'll go back and backdate it and put everything out, but we're looking at kind of like restructuring how we release everything. Kind of a little hesitant to put everything out through like there's like podcast equivalents to like DistroKid and that kind of thing, and just want to make sure we're not like signing away rights to things, because obviously this is very sought after content that people would.
So many people would just be zooming in on my chest right now. You know, I feel like you'd just be like, this is the most watches we've had, but it's only gone to the 1 minute section because they've just zoomed in on your tits
Boob
and
cam.
left. Yeah. That's it.
That would just be the promo.
I actually wanted to do it was funny, like I said to Hazy, I'm like, look, what I want to do is a film clip, like Smack My Bitch Up, where it's all filmed from like a point of view, and you know, it's crazy, and it's just me walking through the Gladi, and it's like drinks being tipped over and stuff, and dudes like looking at my rack. But like the camera, it's just like a rack camera, so it's like my tits, what they're seeing.
Yep.
Yeah. Just like
Just a GoPro on it.
It's just guys staring directly at it. You know, just staring, talking to me, but not talking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
I wonder if you could make like a GoPro bra. I wonder if that would be possible.
Probably.
Anything is possible.
Yeah.
That sounds like a great idea though.
Yeah, I think I should do it.
Yeah.
It would just out everyone.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. Is that like, is it fucking...
Is it hard having breasts?
Well...
Is it hard having...
I've often dreamt, no. But like, do you, like, because I remember the first time we went out together was at Ivy, when we were going to that massive
that wasn't the first time. We went to that show where someone got stabbed.
What show where someone got stabbed?
That show where someone got, with hooligan hef. Not stabbed, it was like, they found knives on people, but it was like...
Oh, at fucking... I remember that. Yeah.
We went out then.
That is true.
Yeah. I actually opened for hooligan hef. It was like...
Yeah, mad.
Crazy.
Where was that?
At... Oh, God. Like, in Oxford Street, at the Bar Baroque, I think it was called.
Yeah, right. Was it his show, or was it like...
He was headlining. And it was crazy to see how... like amped up his fans got. Like insane.
Crazy, like, yeah.
It's nuts because I go to a lot of metal shows and stuff. It's crazy seeing people getting that rough while listening to
that
hip-hop.
energy, yeah.
Yeah, like it's insane.
Yeah.
It was different. Like when I played, I think I scared the shit out of everyone. Like because I'm so like aggressive, and I'll get up in people's face and stare directly into them. That all these guys were just standing back.
Yeah.
And then as soon as that guy came up, it was like, I need to touch hooligan hef and like get in there and stuff. I'm like, why don't I have this?
There's such like cult followings that exist. It's crazy to see how much the scene has grown in the last like couple of years, and like how intense some fan bases are.
Definitely.
I remember that show now. I remember we were standing there and some dude got fucking a bong confiscated.
Yeah.
As we were trying to get him. had tried to sneak it inside the jacket pocket.
The security
points to
there
that.
was like going to the airport.
That was fucking way over the top.
Yeah, I got patted down by someone I don't even think worked there.
Because the show, because I went to a show a few weeks, and that was at the Factory Theatre. There was a show a few weeks before that where it was like the polar opposite, and I think way too much shit slid, and then that night they pulled it back. But yeah, something happened a few weeks like at that other show, and there was like punch-ons and fucking whatever. So then the security was like,
yeah.
But that was so intense, man. I
That
mean, there
was
was
a
that one
crazy
dude that
show.
was in front of us. And the fucking scanner kept going off in front of him. He's literally had his shirt held up and they're like scanning his stomach. And they're like, it's like, what the fuck? Like, why is this taking so long?
It's crazy because I went to that show with you and the security like was so high there, like getting into an international airport.
Yeah.
And then like 4 days before that, I went and saw a black metal band, like Watain.
Yeah.
Where like everyone's wearing all these fucking studs and there's
Spikes and
blood
fucking...
being thrown out in the audience and all this crazy stuff, and they didn't even check, just like go straight through.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, why am I getting patted down in the Golden Glove treatment to go see this little dude from out west rapping? Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was super extreme, man. It really puts like a weird dampener on the night as well when shit like that happens. Like, it kind of just like...
That's what you have to do though, you know, because there's always that one person that ruins shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that was the first time we went. But I remember going to that Ivy show, and it was just like we rocked up and we met like a few more people there. But
do you know I was petrified. I was like, am I gonna let in with this many tattoos?
Bro, the Ivy is like, it wasn't the kind of place I've ever been to a fucking hip hop show before. Like, I feel like I went there when I was like 18, like once. I got this.
Good. I look slim in this position. I'm not moving.
Hi guys.
Hello.
How are you? What's going on?
I'm just mixing some milk with this cranberry and vodka.
Lovely.
Just talking about nights at the Ivy.
Oh yeah.
Our favourite spot.
There's only been one of them.
But I remember when we were lining up, like, a series of just, like, fucking morons that were, like, walking past and just, like,
Hey.
staring at you and just, like, making comments and shit. Like,
Did
like,
they?
Yeah, they were just being, like, just fucking, like, typical, like, 18, 19-year-old Aussie fucking going out, clubbing, the boys, like, type. Like, and I just remember how well, like, it didn't even fucking faze you. Like, I remember we didn't talk about it at the time, but I remember it now. So I'm like, I remember it being like a thing. But how, like, have you, obviously having such like a unique, like, identity and look and the way that you present yourself, like, has it always been easier for you just to, like, to fucking see through that shit and just like not?
It's funny because when you say that, like, I don't remember it, and I think it's because I've learnt to just block out people around me.
You built like a bit of a skin to that.
Yeah, so like when I go out, like people will be like, oh, and like, you know, are you okay? Did you hear what that person said? I'm like, nah, man, because of like, you know, I've looked a certain way for so long that I just block it out. But like, you know, I'm covered in tattoos. It's like, even if I did wear a white dress to the Ivy, they're still gonna say shit. It's like, and then before I had tattoos, you know, it was still a thing where someone would say stuff, and it's just, I'm 6 foot. I'm a chick with like huge cans, and I wear tight fitting clothes. It's like they're always gonna say something.
Yeah.
And I just, if anything, I push it to the extreme. I'm like, if you're gonna say something, then I'll make my hair bigger. I'm gonna make my boobs bigger. You know, my lips bigger.
Yeah.
And just go all out. But I don't care, because at the end of the day, those guys from the Ivy are the ones sliding into my DMs asking for my underpants at midnight. So.
Cheers to that, guys.
No, I think that's like fucking amazing, and like that you have that, like, such a strong belief in yourself and like what the fuck you're into, and it doesn't matter, like, because it really doesn't matter as well. Like, people will always have like fucking, there's just so many fuckwits in the world that someone's gonna have.
You only live once, you know what I mean? That's the thing, and it's like, just do what you want to do, be who you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like, I could spend lots of money wearing Gucci and like crazy like white gowns and have blonde hair and no tattoos, but I wouldn't be happy.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's a thing that actually, at the beginning of the year, I was going to quit music.
This year?
Yeah, altogether.
Yeah,
Because
right.
of like, it was one of those things where I was so in my head, and I think last year I was trying really hard to kind of direct the music in a different way in order to kind of fit in, because my music's a bit, it's not Aussie hip hop, you know what I mean? And it, like, you know, Buster Cap kind of didn't get anywhere because it was during a time where they're like, they sound American.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of the time my music, people are like, you sound American, but it's how I talk.
And like you said too, it was just too early for like...
It's too early.
That sound wasn't... Like, yeah, it was just kind of came before.
It wasn't a thing. Really... Yeah, and it's like my music... It's funny, I was talking to, I think Crispy about it, in that it's easy for the guys to put out something and like they've got their cheerleaders behind them to be like, man, that's sick, that's sick, that's sick. But when I'm doing a genre of music, but it's weird and there's no other artist doing what I'm doing or that sound the same way as me or look the same way as me, there's no cheerleaders there to be like, what you're doing is okay.
Yeah.
So you have to kind of direct yourself and be like, what I'm doing feels right. Yeah. But then you have those voices in your head saying, you're insane. Like, don't release that. Don't say that. Don't do that. So it's hard because of like my music is different from what's out there on the Aussie scene.
Yeah.
And I reached the point where I was like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. Like, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And I remember pulling Hazy up. We were at a show together. I'm like, dude, I'm thinking about quitting music. He was just like, all right, Thraxxy.
Whatever,
cool.
bro. Yeah.
I'll call you about it. We'll book some time. And I was like, oh, no, I'm going to quit. I even told Zach, I'm like, I'm ready to quit.
Yeah.
And then I ended up writing, I think it was...
I sent you a beat in like 24 hours.
He sent me a beat and I ended up writing to it.
And he's like, she ain't quitting. I got this.
But it was like, yeah.
No,
like
it's not normal.
Self-doubt, man.
It's normal, man.
It's normal to have self-doubt.
It's
100%.
It gets this game is fucking not fun sometimes.
Yeah.
The amount of work you put into it.
I think it's just hard when you don't have, like, I don't have another, like, 6-foot chick that's doing a weird genre of electronic hip-hop that, you know, looks like she just emerged from hell, you know, to be like,
as soon as you stop having fun.
Not yet, though. But, like, and it kind of goes what I was saying before about, like, how important representation is. And, like, by you just being your truest self and doing what you've done, even up until this point, even if you were to stop music today, which I'm not, like, you're not going to, because I know this motherfucker won't let you, and I won't let you either, and like everyone around you won't. But like, even if you were to, everything that you've done, like creating a lane, like what you're talking about, who knows who that's inspired? There might be someone that's 12 now, that's 14, that's like into the same kind of stuff that will, you know, rise into that. Like it's, I don't know, there needs to be trailblazers. There needs to be people that are unique and doing their own thing. And I think it's fucking amazing that you've done that and you continue to do that, man. Like, you don't need to conform to the Aussie music sound. Like, there's so many people breaking it in so many different directions at the moment.
Yeah.
But like, dude, self-doubt, so it's fucking real.
It's hard.
I go through it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, why am I talking to people on a podcast? It doesn't make...
Yeah.
What? I'm not qualified for this shit.
Yeah.
Like, I never studied music or anything. It's like, these conversations have just been purely through the community that we have. Like, I know fucking nothing about music except just what I've seen. Like, I haven't studied it. I haven't having degrees in this. It's just like, I don't know, just talk about it.
You have no degrees? I'm out.
0 degrees.
Why am I talking to you?
Tape degree.
Online course in hip hop. Yeah, no, look, it's good, and like I think the scene now, there's like I call Hazy. I've called Hazy before, and I'm like, I'm just not feeling good, like at the moment with it. And then he's like been really great, so it's good to have that. But I think it's like, you know, having bands to look up to like Run the Jewels and Danny Brown, who are doing stuff that's different. Like Danny Brown was in G Unit, you know what I mean, he got out of that because he didn't want to take steroids and dress that way.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's good to see that you can.
He was in an Epstein fucking relationship right away.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. But yeah,
even the
it's
stuff
hard.
like, you know, you wanted that Marty track, and we fucking
having Marty,
and
yeah.
we did it. So
I've wanted Marty on a track for so long.
Yeah.
Because he's so like beautiful as a person. Like,
yeah.
I feel like I'm just like, oh, Marty Bugatti. I hung out with him at a tattoo convention that I was working at, and I was just like, this guy is on another planet.
He's like so pure. He's like the best way. I've tried to work. I'm like, he's like a kid, like soul in like a adult body.
Yeah.
He's just a
chiseled muscle man.
Muscle child, yeah.
Yeah, like he's so funny because
so
of
sweet,
like.
so pure.
Well, he actually, I didn't meet him. He saw me play at a 2-up. The first 2-up, he's like, man, and Triple One added me. It's like, oh my god, Triple One's added me.
Yeah, you were at the first 2-up.
Yeah, and so that's where he added me, and then I met him at a gig. Like, he came up and he's like, Thraxxy, I saw you play at that show. I saw you play at Two Up. You're awesome. And I was like, oh, he's so sweet. Bear in mind, he's like a chiseled, like, statuesque Greek god body. And then when you talk to him, he's just the shit he talks about. Like, at the tattoo convention, he was so funny just walking around and, like, the machines are buzzing. Yeah. And, like, it's really loud. And he's like, oh, Thrax, have you ever put your fingers in your ears? And I'm like, what? He's like, do this really fast. It sounds so crazy with the tattoo machines, with the tattoo guns. I'm like, what? He goes, just do it. Do this really quickly. I'm like, no. And he's like, I'll do it for you. And he's like sticking his fingers in my ears. And I'm like, this guy's like,
what's happening? Totally
an alien. And I love it. Like, it's another fucking planet. And some of the shit, like, last time we were recording that Big Horse track, we're all sitting here and he's like, can you take your shoes off so I can try them on? I'm like, what, man? Well, can I wear your hoodie? I'm like, why? Like, he's just, he sees the world in such a different way.
Yeah.
And to work with him, and he's so pure and, like, lovely. There's nothing that he's gaining. Like, he's not doing this to gain anything. Yeah. And it's such a refreshing feeling to meet someone like that that's not trying to get something from you. Yeah. And, like, I was really cautious with asking Marty to be on a track because I didn't want him to think that's what I wanted from him. But it was mainly just because of, like...
Because of who he was.
I dig him as a person. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter what band he's in. If he was just, like... If I met that dude and he told me he rapped, I'd be like, you need to be on a track with me because you're so wild.
Send me in with the...
Well, like, those innocent, like, features, but then just, like, layers of genius to him as well. Like, he's so...
His writing is insane. Yeah. And, like, being able to be in the studio with Marty and seeing how he writes, it's, like, inspiring. Like, it's crazy. Like, he'll just sit there on his phone and play a beat, and then he'll be like, all right, and then just quickly write, and you can see him, like, his brain ticking and him, like, coming up with these witty liners, and what he comes out with, I'm just like, dude, did you pre-write that? Like, it's insane. It makes me want to up my game more, and working with him, it's pushed me to make my writing tighter, you know, rather than just be sloppy on it.
For sure.
So, like, working with him was, like, probably one of the best collabs I've done. Yeah. Because he's just so... Like, it's crazy, his energy. Yeah. You know, I sound like one of his energy, his aura is so great. Yeah. He drinks almond milk. Like... He
does. Unashamedly ordering almond lattes.
I get it. It's been the whole album, the new album.
Well, this whole chapter of, like, just being where we are now, like, in the Gladiator, and just, like, having this opportunity to kind of connect and mingle with... It's crazy. Everything that's happening with the scene at the moment, there's just so much... Everyone's so open to working with everyone and, like, elevating each other. It's like, like you said, there's no, like, no one's doing it to use a person or anything. It's just like...
It's all organic and genuine. And, like, you know, I've asked Nookie to jump on a track. I'd love to get Nookie on a track because that guy's just, like, such a powerful energy to have. It's just almost like a punch to the face. Yep. As soon as you hear that guy, bang. And how he writes is crazy. He'll just, like, he'll have his phone out, but he won't be writing on it. He'll just be standing there with the headphones in, and then he'll just say a line and go stop, and then just pace back and forward, and go, all right, next one, and just on the spot, like, coming up with rhymes. Whereas to me, I agonize. Smoke Liquor, there were lyrics that were written there 3 years prior. I was working on that song because it was so powerful, and to see someone that's just like, this rhymes with cocaine. What the fuck? How? You know, like, it's nuts. So, like, I'd love to work with Nookie, and I'd love to work with Obi. Like, his voice, I'm really into Flatbush Zombies. Yeah. He's got that, like, deep tone that's gravelly. Like, I'd love to get that on a track. Like, it's just different voices and stuff.
You're on a track with him, big horse.
I want my own track with him that's not interrupted by everyone else. Yeah. True. It's a personal candlelit affair.
I think I'm gonna jump on that track soon. There's so many fucking people in there.
Yeah, you need to just, like, do like a little...
Told you, I got the gun.
You could probably rap a Simple Plan song and no one would know.
Look.
No, there's no Simple Plan going on in my fucking album. Sorry.
We'll work on it.
Simple Graham.
Leaving Spielberg. Yeah.
But yeah, it's cool just working with other people and just... It's upped my game. Like, I think during this COVID thing, it's been crazy, but just working with people I wouldn't normally work with because of, like, the 111 boys have downtime now. Yeah. Seeing how they write, being in an area where it's like you've got 5 minutes to write a song, get it done. It's been, like, really great.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, we switched it
Pressure makes diamonds, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's good to put yourself in those uncomfortable positions to, like, see what can come of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's I'm excited. I'm excited to see what comes out. So when is the album coming? What's the rough timeline at this point in a perfect world?
Good question.
We're not living in at the moment. Far from a perfect world.
Crazy time to try and stay alive.
Yeah.
I don't know, like Hazy's got his project at the moment, but I think from history, like working with Hazy, when we rush things aren't tight enough. So I think now that we're kind of just chilling and going with the flow.
Give it a bit of time to breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let these ones come out, get a few more fans, and then drop the album.
exactly. But
How many tracks we talking? What's
how many tracks do you reckon we have, Hayes?
on the album?
If we've got the ones with the big man P, I reckon 8.
I might try and push for 10.
Yeah.
Sick.
And you're on 4 on mine, so there's a few there.
I've just gotten to that point where I hate my live set. I just want a whole new set.
It's a good time to rebuild.
That'd be great. Maybe an instrumental where I can like drink like a few drinks. Maybe like a 5-minute instrumental where I'm just standing there and drinking.
I want some interludes on this album.
Yeah, that'd be good.
That'd be good actually.
It's even on both actually.
Oh yeah, definitely. Fuck.
I love the
More
high
work now.
the High Noon EP or mixtape, like because of my like they were recording the mixtape in Zach's bedroom, and Zach's fucking studio is like located underneath Dad's bedroom.
Yep.
And so the intro they've actually recorded, it's like my dad beating down the door, screaming, and the dogs are barking, and he's like, "Keep it down, you dickheads!" I'm like, damn it, I want to use that. That's so good. It's like
so
that,
hard to make those ones.
that like Michael Jackson track where it's like, keep it down. Like, man, so good. Yeah. Something like that, an interlude.
Maybe just some like Vulcan, like cuts from fucking Gladiator or something, where it's just like throwing straight disrespect.
Gladiators, are you ready? No.
On the Gladiator soundtrack, because
There's a Gladiator soundtrack.
There's a soundtrack that came out, and I think all the Gladiators had to choose a song to put on the soundtrack.
Holy shit.
And there's one called Bad As You Want to Be. I've been trying to hunt it down, where my dad does a little bit of a rap in there, and it's like, Vulcan's in the house, and he's ready to arouse, or something like that. I'm just like, wow.
I'm finding that right now.
You can't find it, but I played it once when he entered the room. I played it really loud just to like give him shit. He didn't talk to me for 4 days.
Ready to
He was like
arouse.
off it. I think it was arouse. That's awkward.
That's bars.
The bar up.
Yeah. Fuck. On that note, I feel like that's it's a perfect place to end this. So where can the people find you? What's the best ways to get Thraxxy's music?
Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
You can find it on there. I'm on Bandcamp. I'm on SoundCloud.
Active on the gram.
I'm super active on the gram. LinkedIn. No.
LinkedIn?
No. LinkedIn.
B2B.
Gladi Toilet Door. You'll find anywhere on social media. Just search it.
Yeah. And for people to like stay up to date with like when the new songs are dropping and albums.
Year of the Bat.
On the Insta, Year of the Bat.
The gram.
Yeah, you'll see it. And I'm super excited. Like, I've got one of my good friends, Josh McClear, he's a tattoo artist in Boston's done my album cover, and I'm so excited.
Dude, you always have the craziest fucking, like, single and album art and everything. Like, you always come correct with that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's sick.
Yeah, so I'm super excited. I'm just been getting tattoo artists to do all the work, so it's good.
Fuck yeah.
Big love, Thraxxy.
Big love.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming through and talking some shit.
Cheers.
Got another drink?
Another one.
Scarlet.
I'm a bending over backwards, all them haters